Well, just a little update on the Centro CT4.2 stadium truck. I don't know who really cares about this, but I'm just doing this for the heck of it. Mentioned when I built the truck that it had the SC10, same thing as the T4.2, just the aluminum shock standoffs, and I was going to replace them with the either Avid or shelle. They're basically the same thing, so to go with shelle. They are, what do they look like? Well, that's one installed on the truck. You can focus this stupid thing. Basically, it is a standoff, and then there is a Delrin insert that goes on the screw in between the shock cap and keeps supposedly the shock cap from wearing out, which with these aluminum ones, if you ever had a B4.2, these things wear out and the shock caps wear out, and then there's a ton of play in the top of the shock and you end up needing to replace both things. So this should be like about a $7 per end upgrade and save that trouble in the long run. I didn't build the SC10 when I first got it, so I started thinking maybe the truck had the wrong standoffs in the front and back, which I think is probably the case, because the ones that were on the front, you can see that they're quite a bit longer than the ones that were on the back. So somebody put them on backwards, and I just moved them that way. So that's why I had to use a washer on the original build with the shock tower. So what I did when I ordered the shelle standoffs was I ordered the longer ones for the front, and I just ordered 2 sets of them. So it's probably a little bit spaced away from the shock tower, but it basically has the right amount of clearance for this, so it's fine. They do recommend when you use these to use the longer ones in the front shocks and the shorter ones in the back shocks. But like I said, I just knew I was having that problem, and it dawned on me after I'd ordered them that the shock standoffs were probably reversed, and it didn't make any difference on the SC10. But it does interfere with the carbon fiber shock tower if you use the short ones on the rear. So kind of weird. But yeah, truck's running good. Haven't really messed with the setup. I just was looking at somebody else's setup that I'm going to probably try tomorrow. The other thing we have been trying to do at our track is we're trying to increase interest in stadium truck by trying to start a 13.5 super stock stadium truck, which I know some tracks do run. A lot of trucks run 17.5 stadium truck, which we did try once, and it was pretty fun, but it's pretty slow if you have a pretty big track. And 13.5 is actually faster than I thought it would be, so not bad for the size track that we have. Gearing for the 13.5, I'm trying 81-25. Seems to be pretty good. Motor comes off about 145, 150. The timing's at 2. It goes up to 4. I may turn it down, see how the temps do, but it's still good on power. It doesn't really have a problem, so that's that. What else? That's pretty much it. I tried the shorty pack. I did not care for it. At least on our track, it was pretty loose. It definitely took away some traction. I still have not added any weight to the truck anywhere. Some setup sheets call for the brass weights under the front steering rack or the aluminum front bulkhead, which my rear motor stadium truck had the aluminum bulkhead, and it ended up getting stripped out, so I was trying not to waste my money on that again if it's going to take a beating and not survive. B5 ball cups. I ended up installing the outer B5 ball cups and the J-concepts on the inside, just because I didn't have time to shave it down. These turnbuckles always get a little bent, which is kind of annoying. I did not change the steering link ones. I did change the ones in the back. I did that first. If you don't do that at this point, you're going to lose races, because even the RPM and the J-Concept ball cups, even the weirdest like crash where you land on the wheel will pop them off. So the B5 ball cups, I have 2 B5Ms and absolutely have never ever ever popped a ball cup off of one of those cars. Granted, maybe I don't crash as much as I used to, but the truck, it's a no-brainer. The tires, the wide stance, it lands on the wheel, those things just fly off. So it's like about $20 if you buy the B5 studs and then the M3 lock nut to go on the back. Need that here. Need that here. If you do the ones on the steering link, you need those too, because they're a metric lock nut. And let's see. I guess it's just threaded onto the steering link on the front, so you can do what you want to do with that, but it's got to be kind of a shorter screw. Might have to get the shorter ball cut pack, but I just try to buy one set because that's all it really needs. So I'm gonna run it tomorrow. Might try to change the setup a little bit and just see how it goes, but in general with the 13.5, like mid-motor isn't a huge advantage. Definitely drives differently, jumps differently. It doesn't do wheelies, you know, randomly as the mid-motor truck did, but and it turns in really well. It just does a lot of stuff really well, so I'm pretty happy with it. But we'll see how it goes tomorrow. So far, the truck is 2 for 2. Our stadium truck class is pretty competitive on Wednesday nights at our track. So both times I've taken it out, I've managed to win both races. So it's not like the truck is the key to winning, but it definitely is a nice driving truck. And hopefully, it seems like with the 13.5 class that we're trying to get going, and with the fact that I've got this mid-motor truck and a couple of people are running X Factories and a couple of people running Kyoshos, it seems to be becoming really popular now that people realize that mid-motor actually can be tuned to work really well. B5M I give complete credit to for that, because basically it's an inexpensive but highly effective mid-motor car. I run 2 of them and they really don't have that much done to them, and while they do get better with modification, you know, just out of the box, it's really good. So if you're thinking about doing a Centro kit or a mid-motor stadium truck, I would definitely say give it a whirl. But again, I do like the square pack. Even with 13.5, I thought maybe I'd need a little more speed, lighten the weight up, but definitely is more stable with the bigger battery, which could be accounted, you know, balanced with adding weights and stuff, but decided not to do that. So I'll report back as I do some more with the setup, but right now it's pretty good, so I'm not really rocking the boat too much. Enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.